Hey, sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. I wanted to come on and do the part two of a four-part series talking about the key games in every Power Four conference. Yesterday, I did a video on the Big 12. Today, I want to do a video on the ACC and the key games that will decide who is going to make it to that ACC championship game and who will make it to the 12-team college football playoff. As you all know, this conference took on some new teams from the Pac 12, which it seems like all of the conferences except for the SEC took on some teams from the Pac 12. The Pac 12 is no longer in existence. That's why now it's a Power 4 instead of a Power 5. So, without any further delay, let me get into the ACC. The first game I want to mention, and it's early in the season, is between Miami and Florida. That game is going to be a really good game because at that point, Florida is at the beginning of that brutal schedule that they have, and they should be able to be very solid in the early part of the season because they haven't gone through the gauntlet that they're going to have to go through this season. I think Miami is going to be a tough contest for them because Miami has a transfer quarterback in Cam Ward, who I think is going to light it up. I also think that Miami's defense is going to be solid. Miami has done a great job recruiting over the past few seasons with Cristobal, and they also have done amazing things in the transfer portal. So they're going to have a very solid team. And I believe Miami is going to win this game, even though I think it's going to be a good contest for Miami. The next game I want to mention is NC State and Clemson. Now, a lot of people I think are sleeping on NC State. But NC State is a very good football team, and they're going to give Clemson a good test. Clemson will probably pull out this victory because it's at home, but NC State is going to give them a very good test early in the season, and that'll let Clemson know really how good they might be. Also, they play Georgia, I think the very first game of the year, and I think that's going to be a test where they can say, hey, whether we good or not, we're gonna have to beat NC State because we probably gonna get smashed by Georgia. Also, the next game I want to talk about is Florida State against SMU. SMU is one of those teams that came in new to the conference this year, and I think a lot of them are going to probably be sleeping on SMU. But what I know about SMU is they have raised a lot of NIL dollars. So they're going to start getting people out of that portal with that money that they have in NIL. So they need to be on the lookout for SMU because they're going to be a solid team this year as they were last year. And they like to chuck that ball down the field. So I'm telling Florida State fans, don't slip on SMU because SMU is going to be a good contest for them, even though I believe Florida State will beat them. The next game I want to talk about is Clemson at Florida State. Now, this game is really going to be one of those games where the loser of this game is probably going to be on the outside looking in for that ACC championship. So, whoever pulls it out is probably going to be in good shape for the ACC championship. But I think that Florida State will probably win this game, even though it's going to come down to the wire and probably going to be a extra point or a field goal kick to win this game at the end. But I think Florida State will pull it out. The next game is Florida State and Duke. And the only reason why I picked this game is because I want to see how well the transfer quarterback from Texas, Malik Murphy, does against a high powered team like Florida State. I don't think it's really going to be a contest, but it is at Duke, which is going to make it very interesting. But I think Florida State is going to pull it out. But I really want to see what Malik Murphy does at the quarterback position in this game. The next game I want to talk about is Florida State at Miami. Now this game is really going to determine who's making that the ACC championship. Excuse me, because now you'll play Clemson, Florida State. Now you'll play Miami, and those are probably the three top teams in this conference. Which means that if Miami can win this game, they're probably going to be the ACC champions in the end. So I'm looking forward to that game as well. Plus, I want to hear my two homies, KT and Kenny Bosley, go at it about their teams. Kenny Bosley being a Florida State fan. Deswan, you can throw Deswan in there too. He's a Florida State fan as well. And KT being a Miami Hurricane fan. So it's always interesting when those two teams meet up because those three guys get together and they have a lot of trash talking to do. So I'm interested to see that game, but I think Miami's going to pull it out this year. The next game I want to talk about is Florida at Florida State. Now, at this point, it's late in the season. It's the last game of the season for Florida State and Florida. But I think Florida is going to have something to fight about in this game because I think they're going to be fighting for their coach's job at that point. And to beat Florida State, your rival, in-state rival, I think if they can pull that game out, they can probably keep their coach's job. Because I'm hoping that the Florida administration understands that Florida has the toughest schedule in the country. You can't expect them to go 7-5, 8-4. If they can get 6-6, the man should probably keep his job because the gauntlet they got to run is tremendous. So I just wanted to share my opinions on the ACC. I think it's a strong conference this year, but I also believe that it's going to be one of those conferences that's going to be gone in a few years. And when college football probably ends up going into the two super conferences. So I think the Big 12 and the ACC will dismantle, and those teams will probably join either the Big 10 or the SEC. They might as well go ahead and make two mega conferences and get it done and get up to 24 to 32 teams so that you can have either three 8-team conferences or not conferences but divisions and or either four 8-team divisions and go ahead and get this college football thing jumping. That's how you're going to know who's the best of the best. So hopefully you get the chance to watch this video. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you like. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of today. So if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please like all of the videos that we have posted. That's how we grow our channel. That's how we are able to get better equipment. So please support us. We love you and we thank you for tuning in. And as always, hook 'em.